Welcome to The Hidden Scrolls, where we focus on history, folklore, and mythology. The Kappa, a deep dive into Japanese mythology and folklore. The Kappa, Heitong, literally river child, is one of the most iconic yokai, supernatural creatures, in Japanese folklore. Often described as amphibious humanoid beings that inhabit rivers and ponds, Kappa are mischievous, sometimes malevolent, but also surprisingly complex entities. Over centuries, their image has shifted from that of a dangerous river monster to a symbol of quirky folklore and even popular culture. Their story intertwines religion, rural tradition, and changing social attitudes. Origins and historical background. The origins of the Kappa are ancient, predating written history, but they were first documented in the Heian period, 794 and 1185. The earliest references describe them as water spirits or demons that lived in rivers and lakes, often blamed for drownings and crop failures. These stories likely evolved from a combination of animistic beliefs, local spirits called kami, and observations of natural dangers, especially in a country surrounded by water and crisscrossed by rivers. During the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, the Kappa became a popular subject in literature, art, and oral tradition. This era of relative peace and cultural flourishing saw a surge of interest in kaiden, ghost stories, and yokai. The Kappa featured prominently in these tales, solidifying its place in the Japanese cultural imagination. Interestingly, the Kappa also appears in medical and anatomical texts of the Edo period, where it was sometimes conflated with or believed to cause certain injuries or diseases. Physicians even recorded accounts of Kappa sightings and classified them among real creatures. An example of how blurred the lines between science, folklore, and superstition could be in pre-modern Japan. Physical appearance. Descriptions of the Kappa vary by region, but common features include a humanoid shape, usually child-sized, green or blue scaly skin, webbed hands and feet, ideal for swimming, a turtle-like shell on its back. Most distinctively, a depression on the top of its head called a sera, dish, which holds water and is the source of its power. If the water spills, the Kappa becomes weak or even dies. Some variations depict Kappa with beaks, monkey-like arms, or even cucumber-like shapes, reflecting the rich diversity of local traditions. Mythological role and behavior. Kappa occupy an ambiguous space in Japanese mythology. They are tricksters, guardians, monsters, and teachers, often all at once. Mischievous and dangerous. In early stories, Kappa were feared as dangerous water demons who drowned swimmers, attacked livestock, and abducted children. Some tales describe Kappa extracting a mythical organ called the Shirikodama, said to reside in a person's anus, from their victims, supposedly for nourishment or ritualistic reasons. This detail, as strange as it sounds, appears consistently in regional folklore and is part of what gives the Kappa its eerie reputation. They were also said to challenge humans to sumo wrestling matches, likely because of their physical strength and the emphasis on honor in traditional wrestling. These matches often ended in disaster for the human, unless they could outsmart the Kappa. Bound by manners and customs. Despite their mischief, Kappa are deeply bound by Japanese customs, especially etiquette. One of the best-known ways to defeat a Kappa is to bow deeply to it. Out of politeness, it will return the bow, spilling the water in its sara and rendering it powerless. In some tales, kind villagers refill the Kappa's dish, and the grateful creature rewards them with knowledge, healing, or labor. This paradox, dangerous yet courteous, grotesque yet redeemable, makes the Kappa especially intriguing. The Kappa and cucumber. Kappa have an unusual fondness for cucumbers, known in Japanese as kuri. In many areas, people would write family members' names on cucumbers and float them down rivers as offerings to appease Kappa and ensure safety while swimming. This led to the creation of the popular Kappamaki, cucumber sushi rolls, a culinary nod to this tradition. The cucumber connection reflects a more domesticated view of the Kappa, one where they are no longer merely monsters, but beings who can be reasoned with and even befriended. Protectors and healers. Later folklore and regional tales depict Kappa not only as foes, but as helpers. Some stories tell of Kappa healing injured villagers, irrigating fields, or delivering medical knowledge in gratitude for kindness shown to them. This aligns with the broader Shinto belief in kami, spirits, as morally neutral, capable of both harm and help depending on how they are treated. There are also shrines dedicated to Kappa across Japan, such as the Sogenji Temple in Tokyo and Kappa-dera in Tono, Iwate Prefecture. People leave offerings of cucumbers and water, sometimes even praying for safe childbirth, good harvests, or healing from illnesses. Regional variants. Japan's geography and rich oral traditions mean that Kappa stories differ from place to place. In Kyushu, they are sometimes called Gataro or Enko in other regions. Each name variation often brings its own twist on the creature's behavior and form. In Tono, a town famous for its yokai folklore, immortalized in TonoMonogatari by Kunio Yanagita, Kappa are presented with more nuance, capable of both terror and cooperation, depending on human interaction. Modern interpretations in pop culture. In contemporary Japan, the Kappa has undergone a transformation. Though still regarded with a kind of mythological reverence, it has also become a light-hearted mascot, appearing in anime, manga, video games, and even on merchandise. Characters like Kappin from Animal Crossing or Karapi from Sanrio are inspired by KappaLore, albeit in a cuter, sanitized form. This mirrors Japan's broader tendency to embrace and soften traditional yokai for modern audiences. While older generations might recall Kappa stories as cautionary tales, today's youth are more likely to encounter them as friendly characters or educational tools. Interestingly, environmental movements have used Kappa imagery to promote clean rivers and ecosystem preservation, symbolically reclaiming the creature as a guardian of waterways. Psychological and cultural symbolism. On a deeper level, the Kappa may represent human fears of the unknown, especially the dangers of nature. Rivers, while life-giving, were also sources of death and mystery. The Kappa gave a face to those fears. Yet the Kappa's vulnerability to politeness and its love of cucumbers suggest an optimistic worldview, that even the most dangerous forces of nature can be understood, tamed, or even befriended. The Kappa also embodies a tension between chaos and order, wildness and civilization. In this way, it reflects not just ancient superstitions, but ongoing human struggles with nature, community, and the unknown. Conclusion. The Kappa is far more than just a mythical creature that lurks in Japan's rivers. It is a cultural mirror, reflecting shifting views of nature, morality, and human behavior. From feared demon to comedic cartoon, the Kappa's journey through Japanese history is one of transformation, adaptation, and continued fascination. Whether as a cautionary tale told to children, a river spirit honored in local shrines, or a quirky anime character, the Kappa remains an enduring figure in Japan's rich tapestry of myth and folklore. Its story reminds us that even the strangest legends carry deep truths about who we are, what we fear, and what we hope for in the world around us.